The National Electrical Code, or NEC, is developed through a consensus process that is approved by the American National Standards Institute, or ANSI. This process ensures that the code reflects the latest safety standards and technological advancements in the electrical industry. Anyone can submit a proposal for a change to the NEC. This allows for broad participation and ensures that diverse perspectives are considered. Firstly, all proposals are organized by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and sent to the 19 technical committees, which are also known as code-making panels, or CMPs. These panels are responsible for reviewing and evaluating the proposed changes. Secondly, the code-making panels take one of 5 actions on each proposal. These actions are accept in principle, accept in part, accept in principle in part, or reject. If a code-making panel rejects a proposal, it must provide a written explanation for its decision. This ensures transparency and accountability in the process. Thirdly, a 2/3 approval vote is required for a code-making panel to take action on a proposal. This high threshold ensures that changes to the NEC are well supported and reflect a consensus among the panel members. Next, a report on the proposals is sent to the Technical Correlating Committee, or TCC, where they check for any conflicting actions. This step is crucial to ensure that the changes proposed by different code-making panels are consistent and do not create unintended consequences. Then, the report on proposals, or ROP, is written and distributed to stakeholders. This allows interested parties to review the proposed changes and provide feedback. Comments on the ROP are then made and organized by the NFPA and returned to the code-making panels. This provides an opportunity for the public to influence the final content of the NEC. Again, these meetings are open to all who are interested. At this stage, there is one more action that the code-making panel can take. The code-making panel can put a comment on hold, which would return it to the next code cycle as a proposal. This allows for further consideration of complex or controversial issues. The code-making panels then return the comments to the Technical Correlating Committee, where they will check them again for conflicts before returning them to NFPA for approval. This iterative process ensures that all potential conflicts are identified and resolved. Any amendments made by the NFPA will be sent back to the proper code-making panel for their approval. This ensures that the panels retain control over the final content of the NEC. Let's consider some points of interest about this process. One is that beside each name of the code-making panel listed in the front of the NEC is a letter in brackets. This letter indicates the person's affiliation or area of expertise. Here is an abbreviated list of these letters. N stands for manufacturers. U stands for users. I/M stands for installers and maintainers. R/T stands for researchers and testers. E stands for inspectors and enforcers. It's important to note that the authority having jurisdiction, or ORJ, is not represented in any code-making panel. This role is included with the inspector. It is also worth noting that manufacturers are heavily represented in the code-making panels. This reflects the importance of manufacturers in developing and implementing new electrical technologies and safety standards. To summarize the NEC process, firstly, proposals for changes to the NEC can be submitted by any member of the public. Secondly, proposals are reviewed by 19 technical committees known as code-making panels. Thirdly, the code-making panels take one of 5 actions. These actions are accept in principle, accept in part, accept in principle in part, and reject, where they must provide a written explanation. Fourthly, a 2/3 approval vote is required for code-making panel action. Fifthly, a report on proposals is created and distributed. Sixthly, comments on the ROP are submitted to the NFPA and returned to the code-making panels. Seventhly, code-making panels can hold comments for consideration in the next code cycle. Eighthly, the Technical Correlating Committee checks for conflicts. Ninthly, the committee returns approved comments to the NFPA. Tenthly, the NFPA approves any amendments proposed by the code-making panels. 11thly, the code-making panels review and approve the final amendments to be included in the NEC. The code-making panel members are categorized by affiliations such as M for manufacturers, U for users, S/M for installers and maintainers, R/T for researchers and testers, and E for inspectors and enforcers. The NEC does not have a separate code-making panel for the authority having jurisdiction. Finally, manufacturers are heavily represented in the code-making panels. The NEC development process is a comprehensive and transparent process that ensures that the code remains relevant and effective in protecting people and property from electrical hazards. By understanding this process, stakeholders can participate effectively in shaping the future of electrical safety.